The new U.S. plan to rival China and end cornering of the market in rare earth metals. In 2019, China was responsible for 80% of rare earth metal imports, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, although exports fell last year in part due to COVID-19. That's going to continue. Rare earth elements are more abundant than their name suggests, but extracting and processing and refining the metals poses a range of technical, political, and environmental issues. The Biden administration and the Department of Energy have targeted rare earths among domestic supply chain priorities as they outline an ambitious climate and technology policy. You know, a complex issue, stuff we need, weighing the value of extracting the stuff and how you extract it against the environmental concerns and the positivity of using it to better our other environmental structures and the trade-off. This is the same natural gas trade-off that we went as a transition away from oil to natural gas because it bleeds, it burns cleaner, it burns cleaner than coal, certainly, and petroleum. So is it a solution? Yeah. Is it the solution? No. It's transitory. And if you can transition while removing pollutants from the air and you don't, that's malpractice. So in this particular case, the United States has made previous attempts to reemerge as a dominant player in the rare earths supply chain that is responsible for some of the most important materials involved in electric vehicle production, battery making, renewable energy systems, and technology manufacturing. Under the Biden administration, the effort is receiving renewed focus. Elections matter. With massive investments planned in climate change technology and a hard line being taken on geopolitical rivalries and the national security threat posed by China. You will not hear anything about a hard line being taken on geopolitical rivalries and the national security threat posed by China on Fox News anywhere. You will not hear them talking about the Biden administration's strategies about that. You just will not. In 2019, China was responsible for 80% of rare earth minerals. We saw that quote before. Biden's sweeping $2 trillion infrastructure legislation seeks to remake the power and transportation markets in the U.S. and rebuild the country's semiconductor industry. It follows Biden signing an executive order in February designed to review gaps in the domestic supply chain for rare earths, medical devices, chips, and other key resources. And in March, the Department of Energy announced a $30 million initiative that will tap into researching and securing the U.S. domestic supply chain for rare earths and other important minerals in battery making, such as cobalt and lithium, which, by the way, we are bypassing because it is California companies that are making the solid-state batteries that do not require lithium, and it is MIT and two other universities in the United States that are blazing the trail in non-lithium battery systems. Cornering of the market. It is absolutely correct. There is a cornering of the market with lithium and other rare earth minerals. Biden climate envoy John Kerry recently said at a CNBC Evolve Summit on the future of energy innovation. But efforts in the recent past to rival China in the rare earths market and rebuild the domestic industry have been stymied. It's technically possible to try and rebuild the entire supply chain because we once had it, says Jane Nakano, a senior fellow at the Center for Strategic International Studies, Energy, Securities, and Climate Change Program. Boy, do they need a shield nickname. All right. It's not that we're not experienced. It's not that we have no idea what the domestic supply chain may look like. Nakano said, but she added that business, environmental, and political factors may make the effort difficult to achieve, especially over a short time frame. China's rare earth dominance, rebuilding a domestic supply chain. MP Materials bought, domestic efforts to extract rare earths are taking place in states including Wyoming, Texas, and California. But the recent past provides cautionary tales, such as Molycorp, which reopened the longstanding Mountain Pass mine in California in the 2000s, only to go bankrupt in 2015. MP, which is why they need support from the government, because China will always undermine those companies as far as cost until they go away. And then, that's how they do it in every industry. MP Materials bought the mine and restarted production in 2017. The Las Vegas headquartered company is vying to restore the domestic rare earth supply chain from mine to magnet and is hedging its bets on neodymium praseodymium. Praseodymium? I'm going to go with praseodymium, with the hope of becoming the lowest cost producer. In recent years, the Las Vegas headquartered company received a myriad of grants and contracts from the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy to research and improve domestic capabilities. this is, look for this to be touted more when the infrastructure bill passes. You'll see a bunch of people, like Republicans will be standing in front of bridges they didn't want built, and roads they didn't want fixed, saying, I got this road fixed and this bridge built, right? We know this. It will be Democrats and Democratic governors and Democratic senators and Democratic congresspeople who actually have the smarts to come out and say, this is where America is moving forward technologically. The grants involved in the infrastructure program that deal with electric vehicles, charging stations, and the advancement of battery technology in the United States, which will be cutting edge for the world, is directly related to the infrastructure and the rescue package. And they will be smart enough, hopefully, to stand Prasiodinium. Thank you. I was right the first time, and then I changed myself. I should have trusted me. Thank you, Stephen. But there will, and Democrats within the sound of my voice, understand that like I told you about broadband helping stuff get through, it's one of the reasons why you got 17 Republicans on board, because you put that broadband in there, that nationwide broadband, boy, that starts to look good to all those middle states. How are you supposed to look up how to stick ivermectin in a light bulb up your ass if you don't have good internet? That's terrible. You're trying to get on Facebook and log in to figure out how, sucking pig pimple juice will actually make you, and I don't mean medicine for pig pimples. I mean, I just grossed myself out to cure COVID. If your internet's shoddy, right? So you put that in there, that's how you got it through. That's how you got 17 on board instead of maybe we'll get 10. No, you get 17. And you'll keep 15 of them because of that broadband. You watch, you heard it here. You might even gain a couple of others, even if you lose 3. So same thing is true about this stuff. You start touting the supply chain for rare earth minerals, and states like Wyoming, California, and Texas mining industry going in and extracting these kind of things instead of coal, which is way more damaging to the miners and way more dangerous for them. And you watch West Virginia coal miners, you guys know how to work a mine. You know how to extract stuff. There are jobs for you in Texas, Wyoming, and California that, that don't require you to, die early of the same thing your boss died of. So this is really good news. And Democrats, you would be well served, like I told you about the broadband, to mention this and the goal of replacing lithium as the primary source for batteries, and that America's technology will be at the forefront of that, and our factories will make them because they require skill, and they're not environmentally damaging the way the other chemical batteries are. And you will be able to sell these worldwide, and they will be the top of the line version of these things. And we will own the patents in this country. We will, corner the market on those things, and we will push forward with them. And then you've got jobs and a better environmental impact, all the positives you're looking for. And the Republicans are not going to bring it up because it makes them look bad. It undermines their narrative about, Biden being beholden to China. So they can't bring it up. They cannot. So it's a freebie, Democrats. It's a freebie. You go out and tout this, and Republicans can't even push back on it because they'd have to admit that the Biden administration is fighting back on China's dominance in the rare earth minerals department, and it'll make them confused and mad. What about self-charging EVs? Well, you're talking about solar panels. There's a point where the charger would have to overtake the movement. I saw the solar SUV that was dragging the windmill, and as it drove, it spun the windmill and charged the thing or whatever. Maybe one day, but not every car on the road's gonna drive around with a trailer with a giant fan on the back. Okay, just not. So I'm trying to help out. I've been right about everything else. So just leaving that out there. Democrats, push this a lot. as part of the infrastructure bill and as us trying to make sure that China does not corner the market. And it's great as a post-Afghanistan talking point. So there you go. I feel like my job is done here. I must move along.